actually a funny story. I was born in Maine, but I haven't lived there in about 20 years. My dad was active Navy for 26 years, so I've moved all over the place. Currently home is Washington State, so I've kind of been all over. I was in Colorado when I first started here, so it was the closest one to home. It was also the only place other than military academies I was looking at. And visiting the military academies was amazing, but the athletic department here and just the support that the athletes and the students get here it was too incredible not to do. So yeah, it was definitely a big factor in coming here, and the team was incredible. The coaching staff, even though it's changed quite a bit since I was here, it's gone uphill. There's never been any backsliding, so it's been perfect. So I didn't start until high school. Me and Cece probably have the least amount of experience out of everybody on the team, if I'm being completely honest. I started in Germany. I was playing soccer, and I started high school, and I was in junior ROTC, and they had this rifle team that they were starting, and they're like, hey, come join. And I did, and then I found out I was moving, and they cut me from the team 3 months later, so I didn't really get a chance to show anything. Moved back to Washington, where I graduated high school from, and didn't shoot for about a year and a half, and then was dropping my little sister off at rifle tryouts the following year, and the coach was like, hey, here's a rifle, we're starting a team, you're on it. So it was something that honestly kind of fell into my lap. I didn't really have it on my radar growing up. We shot kind of recreationally as a family, but it was never something that I ever considered I would take this far. It's very different. I had a lot of fun shooting in high school. I was on a co-ed team, so it was a little bit more dramatic, I guess, with the guys and the girls. There was always drama, and it was high school. But I think, especially for me, competing my senior year, I didn't really have kind of a club team traveling with me. It was more, I did it by myself because nobody else had picked up 22 yet. Before me, there had only been one other person who had become an NCAA rifle athlete from my high school, and it was the year before I graduated, so it was very kind of all run together as one. So it was honestly a learning experience. That's the easiest way I can describe it. It set me up to keep an open mind, and when I was traveling to national matches and talking to coaches, and I absorbed everything they told me. And then being able to, go on visits and talk to all the other athletes was amazing, and they all have different things to say about every different school. So I think it set me up for just being more open to everything. How do you manage your school life with your sports and everything? It's busy. It was very busy. I started graduate school in the spring, so that's definitely been an adjustment. Um, Socially, I really only hang out with the team. There's a lot of other people on the team who have friends outside the team. I'm so busy with school, I don't really have a whole lot of time. Undergrad was a little bit easier. I was in a couple clubs, but yeah, grad school is an entirely different beast. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been really interesting. I love having the freshmen come in and tell me about their hectic schedules for school, and I'm like, yeah, I have three classes a week, only 3 days a week. It's kind of awesome. The workload is definitely different, and I think my teammates, especially last year in the spring, noticed that I was getting really weighed down after season just by school. Um, This year it's been better. There's been a lot more kind of open communication with the team of, oh my gosh, we have exams, we have, big presentations. I had my first presentation of the school year literally on Tuesday. And we're all really supportive of each other, and if we know that, somebody's struggling with something or they've got a lot on their plate that week, we're going to do whatever we can to kind of make it easier on them. Yeah, everybody's got their own stuff to deal with on the team. I don't really see myself as a leader on the team, and I know that's odd to say as the oldest person on the team, but Cece's been our captain for this is your second or third year. She's got the leadership down, and whatever we can do to support her, whatever I can personally do to support her, I'll do anything. So.
How did it feel coming in as a freshman, going to season high, getting the final and everyone, and then you led your team to the DARC championship? How did that feel like?
Freshman year was really hard. I only traveled twice. One was just a regular season match in the fall, and then the second match was our GARC championships. And having that PR at championships in front of everybody was a completely different feeling than anything else I think I'd ever seen. I was one of the youngest ones on that trip, and I had no idea that I was going to be able to do that. I'd been doing it in practice, but with how the season had gone so far, I knew I was going to be really nervous going into it, so I just didn't have any expectations. I just kind of showed up and did my thing. And then the following season coming in, we had a coaching change, and was a little bit of an expected one, but it was also, okay, we've got two very young coaches, we don't know what it's going to be like, and they came in, they got right to work with us. They didn't waste any time changing positions, changing processes, and they were very communicative about what they were doing and why, and it helped me understand myself better as an athlete. So that's what I contribute, or attribute my success sophomore year to, was just learning more about what I can do and how I can do it, and how I can do it to the best of my ability. I'm currently considering officer candidate school for the military, FBI, and Interpol. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and a minor in national security, and I'm getting my graduate degree in political science. Military's kind of always been on my radar. I was raised with it, so that's kind of what I've been leaning towards, but going to college has definitely opened up some more doors, and then getting another degree has opened up even more. So got some deciding to do, but hopefully I'll be able to get it done soon.
What is practice?
So practice is a little bit different for everybody. We kind of all have our own kind of thing that we'll come in and work on. That's one of the things I like best about this season, and it's all kind of individualized. We're not doing like mass drills or anything that you kind of have to do with everybody else. I like to come in and spend like the first 20-30 minutes of practice just kind of getting up, shooting, seeing how it feels for the day. If there's anything I feel that is lacking, I'll work on that for the rest of the practice, and then reevaluate a little bit further on and see if kind of anything else is breaking down. I've been shooting for about 7.5 years, so I've gotten to know my positions pretty well, and if one day I get into position and something just feels wrong, you're kind of like, wait a minute, let's back up. Did I set something up wrong? Did something move? Do I need to kind of look at this? If you need to make like minor tweaks or anything, you can. I've had some seasons where we just completely overhaul positions. That happened sophomore year. I came into practice one day and I just looked at coach. I'm like, something does not feel right in this position. She goes, all right, let's rebuild it. And we did. And it turned out to be pretty close to what it had been before, so it was just probably the way I set up that day or that week. We practiced for about 2 hours a day, sometimes more and sometimes very early. It's really, especially with the graduate school workload, sometimes if you're up late doing homework, it's really early, or it's really hard to wake up early and be present for an 8 a.m. practice. So it does take a little bit of work. It does take a little bit of waking up before you get there, but it's been good. The structure is more individualized this year, so the coaches will work with us individually. If you have any major concerns, walk up beginning of practice, hey coach, this is what I noticed yesterday, or this is what I noticed earlier in the week. Do you have anything, like, do you have a drill, or do you have, like, anything that you could give me as a tool to work on it? Or could you watch me and see what I'm doing? We have kind of an automated shooting system. It's called SCAT. And I wish I had my computer to show you guys because it's awesome. You basically hook a laser to the front of your rifle, and you have that trace your shot down onto the target. And it'll show you your heartbeat, it'll show you your breathing, it'll show you your follow-through after you take the shot. Anything you could possibly do wrong will show up on that SCAT trace. So it's really frustrating, but it's also a really good tool that we use and that the coaches use to kind of analyze what we're doing and how we're doing it.
You mentioned your soccer background. How much different is it in rifle with what you're practicing? So concentrated in soccer.
It's very different. This is one of the reasons I never thought I would be a rifle NCAA athlete. I cannot sit still to save my life. I fidget constantly. I love playing soccer. It was busier than heck when I picked up rifle on top of everything. I was at school from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day for high school because I had rifle in the morning and then soccer after. And I loved it. I loved how busy I was. It was exhausting, but I think soccer helped me understand my body a little bit better so I could understand and feel the shooting positions. Shooting positions are very, very sensitive, kind of fueling needs and stuff like that. Ours is a heavy mental sport, not heavy physical sport. Our positions are hard on our body, but we're not moving. The entire goal is to sit still for 4 hours at a time for matches. So it's different, but I think they both complemented each other very well and set me up for success here.
You want to explain kind of what that match looks like, how it kind of looks like if you were to go to a match?
Yeah, so, yeah. It's terrible to say, I don't see shooting as a spectator sport. It's really interesting to watch if you know what you're looking at. We shoot on electronic targets, so you can see our live targets and our shots appear as we're shooting them online. How a match day usually looks is we'll start prep insiders either at 8 or 7:45. Prep insiders is 15 minutes of practice time essentially. So however you need to set up and get ready for your match, that time alone is what you get for practice shots. So sighting in, making sure all your equipment's good to go, that kind of stuff. Usually we're at the range an hour before, so about 7 a.m. The first leg of the match is small bore, so we get an hour and 45 minutes to shoot 60 record shots in kneeling, prone, and then standing. You get your 15-minute sighter time, and then you do 20 shots in kneeling, and then you have an unlimited amount of time to change over to prone, and then you shoot 20 shots prone, and then you change over standing, do 20 shots standing. Then you have a half-hour break, change over the range. Changeover includes sweeping brass, vacuuming for, lead, because that's never good. Just kind of cleaning up the range and then getting everything transitioned over. And then air rifle, you get another 15-minute prep and sighter time for sighting in the rifle and just making sure everything's good. And then you get an hour, 15 minutes for 60 record shots in standing. And that's a match day. And then usually if we're at home and we're on the morning relay, we'll go get lunch together as a team afterwards. So it's usually pretty long mornings. Usually we're pretty dead by the end of it, but I mean, we all play off each other. We all feed off of each other afterwards, and it's busy and it's exhausting, but it's good.
You talked about like all of the TV stuff. Which one gave you like the most confidence?
Oh gosh, I knew I should have looked at my bio before I walked in here.
Would it be like the freshman?
Are you talking athletic or academic?
Athletic.
Okay. I don't even know what the heck's on there right now.
Is there any like certain moments that gave you like confidence that was actually being over that year? No?
I've I've had quite a few moments like that. I've been really lucky. My sophomore year, when our head coach was our assistant coach at the time, um, she came in that season and literally day one of practice looked at me and goes, "We're changing your entire position. I don't like it." I'm like, "Okay." I was terrified, but we changed it. In my first match of the season, I shot the highest score I've ever shot in a match. I shot a 597 in air rifle. I dropped 3 shots out of 60. And I couldn't form a sentence by the end of it, but the high that I was on, it lasted the entire season. It was absolutely crazy. Um, Definitely been chasing that high ever since. I'm finally getting close, so it's gonna be good. Um, I'm I'm honored for all of the achievements and all the accolades that I've received, but it's all been hard work and it's all been me and my teammates and my coaches. So it's not just me that's putting in the work, and I think that the accolades and the achievements that this team gets reflects very well on the team and the coaches.
What is the off-season like?
So my off season looks drastically different from CC's. I took a break from April to August. I did not pick up my rifle once. I took a break. I took summer classes, so it wasn't too much of a break for that. Um, it was good for me to have a break. I think after being here for 4 years and really giving it my all, and then deciding to come back for another season, I think mentally I just needed that break. I had LASIK eye surgery over the summer, and that's definitely helped a little bit. I can now see the target, even though I had my lenses and my glasses. It definitely helped to have that time to recuperate. Um, I try to enjoy my off time. I get to the point where I itch to be on the range again, and I know that if I do it too soon, it's going to be disastrous coming back. I had that happen junior year coming back after COVID, and I just hammered away that summer, and I came back and I was already burnt out. So I think that moving forward, I think breaks have always been beneficial for me, but I think they could be beneficial for others too if they truly, truly need them.
Um, what would be your favorite match you competed in, and why?
Oh gosh. Okay, my okay, I've got 2 favorite matches. My 2 favorite matches to shoot are Winter Air Gun Championships I think they're in Colorado Springs and Ohio this year, and then USA Nationals in Fort Benning, Georgia. Everybody from the shooting community is there. Juniors, college shooters, um, adult shooters, the Olympians. Everybody's there. Um, it's just so much fun. It is so much fun. There's no stress. I never worried about qualifying for anything. Those are matches I just go to have fun. I'm like, I worked my tail off all year. This match is for me. This is what I want to do. This is like, those matches are so much fun. I love seeing everybody. And I worked for the civilian marksmanship program for a couple of summers. So all the juniors that I coached over the summer, I would get to see at those matches, and then I'd get to see them get picked up by college coaches, and that feeling is amazing. It's like, I just love being proud of the juniors in this sport.